Hi everyone, I'm Danny from Science Center Singapore and welcome to another episode of STEM Together, where we facilitate conversations involving industry professionals on everyday matters involving STEM. Now today I'm joined by Yvonne Tan, a digital motor engineering manager at Dyson. Dyson, as you know, was founded by Sir James Dyson, the British inventor, the industrial designer, the farmer, the billionaire entrepreneur. Dyson is best known, as you know, probably for the invention of the dual cyclone bagless vacuum cleaner. Now, I'm hoping that Yvonne is going to spill the beans, maybe give us a bit of a lowdown on what happens behind the Dyson doors. Are you ready, viewers? Well, ready or not, here she comes. Yvonne, welcome to STEM Together. How are you?
Hi, Danny. I'm good. I'm great. How about you?
That's great. Yeah, I'm good. I'm really good. Super. I'm really happy to befriend you on this platform, and our viewers are too. We really hope to understand what is making you tick at Dyson and what happens at Dyson Engineering that you are a part of. Now, before we drill deeper, let's understand how all this came together for you, shall we? So first off, let's focus a little bit about your school experiences. Now, what was your passion at school?
Wow. I guess one of the passion, if you look at it, as a growing up kid, I think curiosity and stuff. I'm always curious about a lot of stuff, and I want to be part of everything in that sense. In a way, I wouldn't say it's greedy, but the fact that I did set a record of like having ECA, I think now it's called CCA, like 8 CCA when I was in primary school.
All right, so how did you end up picking engineering at university? Fast forward a little bit.
I would say it's more like knowing myself, but the behavior, because of the curiosity I mentioned, the things of solving problems, doing a lot of stuff, taking things apart, understanding how it works and trying to put it together and say, how can I do it better? What does the pan cap have to fit on the cap of the pan, and the reasoning and all that. So that become a natural thing for me to pick engineering, because I want to know how things work and make things work.
So what was it that you loved about studying engineering?
Wow, this is actually a very good question. You say, mind if I ask what actually do you study?
Oh, what did I study?
Yeah,
I did humanities. So I did editing and communications in university.
Okay, interesting. That's why you're in this book doing an interview right now, and
Exactly.
you're doing a great job. And of
thank
course,
you.
like every different discipline will need a specialist. And of course, doing engineering, of course, because I have the passion in engineering, therefore I chose engineering, and I'll be good in it in a sense because I enjoy it and it's a passion.
What happened kind of after graduation? In a sense, was there a correlation with what you had studied and what you did at work?
Okay, very interesting. I think maybe the direct answer will be start looking for a job, going for interviews. I mean, that's standard stuff.
Yes.
But I think I was also lucky because I was under the EDB program. So it's like I'm bonded for 3 years after my studies to engineering company, to be fair.
Wow.
So of course, the companies that I'm being sent for interviews are natural engineering.
Right. So, okay, let's fast forward a little bit now to Dyson. Did you ever imagine that you'd end up at Dyson?
I think a lot of people ask me that. It's interesting. Actually, even before I joined Dyson, it has been in the industry of engineering and also the tech company in Singapore. I wouldn't say it's limited, but the well-known one is out there. You know it, and all engineers will talk about it. And in fact, before I come into Dyson, it's kind of like my dream company to join, because I know about their technology. I do have friends working in there telling me about what they do. And what, of course, reading about, as what you mentioned earlier, about how they innovate with the vacuum cleaner and stuff, and the kind of philosophy. So a lot of time, yes, I wanted to join the company, and of course, then I ended up here, which is like the dream job, because it fits my way of thinking as well, and how I want to contribute to engineering and technology.
Right. Well, what do you think made you favorable in terms of favorable to the organization, being able to join this?
I would say be curious. I'm very curious. and I'm able to kind of like look at it that I want to solve a problem, especially as simple as that. I love to solve problems. And when I go in there, I see as what are the opportunity, what are the problem we are solving, and engineering skill set is, if I put it as simple, is problem solver.
Okay, I understand you're a digital motor engineering manager.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that means. Could you break it down for us?
Okay, so the heart of the product, most Dyson product is the Dyson digital motor. Yeah. So this, in fact, itself is the technology piece of Dyson, and it, of course, is co-developed here in Singapore, in the UK, and the Philippines as well. So I kind of lead the team here, the research, design, and development engineers for this piece of technology in Singapore and Philippines, alongside with the UK engineers.
Is there something special about the way design engineering is done at Dyson?
I think we share about that quite often, but in terms of how is it special, because the fact that we have design iteration, I think what I want to call out is also special to me is because we actually celebrate failure.
Wow.
I think this is something quite a taboo to a lot of us when we start schooling and stuff. We cannot fail. We're supposed to get good grades and stuff. So when this is kind of a lot of culture shock to a lot of people. But the beauty of it is not that we celebrate failure in the sense of, yeah, we failed. No, but it's more like we celebrate early failure so that we learn from it and we don't make the mistake. And the fact that about design iteration is the earlier that you discover your failure, then you can kind of redesign and change the design for a better design the next iteration. So I think this is the kind of design philosophy here in Dyson that I truly celebrate and resonate with.
All right, so what are some common misconceptions that people have about your role or your field?
I'll say, even if you look at it, when they look at me as an engineer, they say, oh, female. Maybe that's a misconception, first point. I think most of the time, like we go to schools and talk to young children, typically when they draw their image of an engineer, it's typically a boy or man looking dirty, getting a spanner, a hand with screwdriver. It's like normally with maybe a dirty coat and stuff, like lab coat, that kind of thing. So that is the impression people have. But here you are, you see me, I'm a female. I'm not the only female engineer in Dyson, and I think a lot of different industry as well. There's a lot more females coming into the play of being an engineer.
Yes.
And also to counter effect as well, the male are not dirty. They're also clean and proper. In fact, I think I do know a lot of engineers that are very disciplined and keep themselves very proper. So I think that is one of the misconceptions in this field itself. And also the misconception of engineers are very studious and boring. I don't know whether you have that impression.
Not quite, not quite.
Good. Then the conversion has been well done.
But I don't know, maybe because my dad's an engineer and my brother as well. So these are my true role models in the family with whom I know they're pretty they can be pretty interesting. They're left field as well sometimes.
Thank you for the testimony. In fact, yes, I think I would say crazy bunch of people. We also have fun like most other people. In fact, it's just that people will think that, oh, the way that you guys play is more different, because even in Dyson, our year-end party is not sit down dinner, just watching people do a show. We're actually part of the show. We are part of the game. We are we have costume, we have team sets, and we actually dress up to go for the party. And then we interact and play games. So, and also like every year now it's pandemic, but we used to have family days, typical family days like carnivals and stuff. But we actually challenge ourselves to come up with toys and stuff, and we challenge each other in different teams. Like for example, one of the first year I joined, we have the challenge of a cardboard cart. The radio control car, but it's fully made of cardboard.
Okay.
So that was fun. And that actually get me it's like the rapid process that I get to know my colleagues super fast. I said, do you want to join my team? And then the four of us came together and we spent like evening together, not during the work time, but after work. And we built the cardboard. Yeah. And then after that, we bring it to the family day and challenge with other teams within Dyson and showcase it to our family that will join the carnival itself.
Wow, that's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you're definitely not a straight engineer. You're the first candidate who has actually been asking me questions during this interview with you. So it's
I
been,
hope it's fun for you.
Definitely keeping you on my toes here, I tell you. What are some of the values, the qualities that are necessary in your work?
I would say the quality is be authentic, be yourself, be curious, and don't be afraid to suggest your ideas.
What advice would you give to those who are unsure about studying engineering and even finding work, and even after finding work, having fulfillment in that role as well? What advice would you give to people in this sort of state? Should I study engineering? Will I be able to find work? Will I be happy in that work? Yeah.
I'll be very frank. When I choose engineering, nobody told me that I'll be where I am today. And a lot of people will not know whether it's engineering or not. But I would say, go back to touch your heart. What are you passionate about? What do you enjoy? And go pursue it. Because if you don't make that first step, you never try out, you will never find out. Even if you try engineering and you don't like it and you switch, it's okay, because you already have the foundation of engineering training. It's going to be useful. Even if you don't work on it, you can still help fix stuff at home.
That's so true.
Yeah, but if you actually pursue that and you enjoy it, and just imagine, we actually spend a lot of time working, and if you truly enjoy your work, what more can you get?
Thanks for all these insights and for your precious time, Yvonne. I also want to thank Grace, also from the Dyson Foundation, through whom we got connected. It was really great having you on STEM Together, and I'm really hoping that our viewers will take away something useful from what you've shared today. I certainly have. For example, for home renovations, if I'm stuck, you're on my call list for sure.
I'm happy to help. Thank you,
Great
Danny.
to hear. Well, viewers, if you're watching this on YouTube, please, hit that notification bell to subscribe. If you're watching the series on Facebook, click follow. Now remember, like and share this video with your friends. Stay tuned for our next conversation. This is Danny with my very special guest, Yvonne, signing out. Bye-bye.